guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click that subscription button. We have some really cool things to look at in looking at the 50% off land sale. That is right, guys. You can get land in Illuvium for a 50% discount. So don't worry what you got going on. If you have a couple thousand in Ethereum, we can show you, and I'm going to show you how to get the most out of the resources you have to make sure that you can get a tier 1 or a tier 2 piece within Illuvium. Also on this channel, we are going to do monthly giveaways. If you guys are familiar with my second channel, we have done monthly giveaways on there for a while. We also have a 20,000 subscriber on the other channel giveaway as well. That is coming up. So let's go ahead and look at the Illuvium and see how you can get that land for a 50% discount. We're going to be going through a couple pages and a couple tabs up here. So as you can see, ILV value 839.97 million. So absolutely crazy. Big thing that we're focusing on today is your SILV value. So now the SIV value is not the actual tokens that are out there, not 76 million tokens. That is the actual value of SILV. And again, that is what we're going to be focusing on today. On the Illuvium Zero Discord, we had a lot of questions about it. So I kind of want to run through what you need to do to kind of do this. So we're going to hop over to Uniswap and I'm going to show you how to get here. So we can see right now, one SILV is about $519 compared to the swap. So if we have one SILV, that is correct. It's roughly worth $513 when it comes to Ethereum. And this is the quick basic way that you can do the swap. So if I did hold SILV, which you can see right here, I have 6.551 SILV, meaning I could take my SILV that I have claimed in rewards for in-game use. I can actually take the SILV and I can sell it right here on Uniswap, guys, for Ethereum. So I could max this out. Boom, there we go, my 6.551. $3,400. So I could swap this today, right now, for $3,362 of Ethereum, moving it back into Ethereum. Now, the way that this works is, remember, you can use Ethereum or you can use SILV, the synthetic Illuvium, for the land purchases. So we can actually click the little button in the middle. We can swap ETH for SILV. So I can do my max Ethereum. I have $15 in there. I think $15 in there right now. But you can see I can swap that for SILV. Now, theoretically, let's say I had 2 Ethereum. So $9,000, I can buy 17 SILV tokens, guys. That is right. Remember, SILV tokens are pegged on the price of Illuvium. So Illuvium's at 1214. And again, we'll just do a quick little thing here. We'll pop up this calculator and you can see Illuvium right here is worth 1214. And right here we have our other kind of breakout. So Illuvium is 1214 times the amount of tokens we'd get, 17.2068. So that's about $20,000. That's right, guys. So you can see the value of the SILV again is pegged to the Illuvium token. So if you're spending $9,000 in Ethereum, you're actually getting roughly $21,000 in buying power when it comes to SILV, because my $9,000 for 2 Ethereum is going to translate to 17.2068 SILV. Now the SILV is again pegged to the Illuvium price, which is right now at 1214 per their website, meaning that you're spending $9,000, you're getting roughly $21,000 in SILV in return for buying out of this pool. Now, a couple things you have to remember. Number one, you have to make sure the address is correct, guys. I cannot stress this enough. If the address is incorrect, there are a lot of people who try to fraud the tokens. When you look at the actual address, you want to make sure, and we'll bring this up as well, this is the Illuvium Discord. If you go to pin messages right up here, it will take you right here to the Uniswap sites. This is the only place that I would use it, guys. I would not trust it if somebody sent me a link in a chat, if someone sends you a link on Discord. If you get a link in any other manner other than the official Illuvium Discord, which is where we are right now, we are in the Illuvium Discord, you can actually click on some of these and it will take you to different places that you can do the escrowed alluvium, the SILV tokens. You can actually trade it here, which, as you can see right here from our little pony, it is the same as our other website right here, our little unicorn. It is the Uniswap site where it is coming from. So can you get land 50% off? Absolutely, guys. If I'm dropping $9,000 and just like we've seen in our calculator, getting roughly $21,000 of buying power for the land, why would you not go to the SIOV? Now, the other thing you do have to be careful about is the SIOV is provided by other players that are provided by other investors. The SILV pool is kind of a sub pool that is made from people who are getting the SILV rewards. As this draws closer to the land sale, theoretically, this pool might not have any liquidity. So if you're trying to do your swap and there is no liquidity in the SILV pool, because a majority of players have already taken all of the liquidity out of there, they've already taken all the SILV coins that are within the pool they created, you might be stuck doing your purchase for Ethereum at a much higher price because the SILV coin is already gone at that point. Now, a couple other things that I want to look at when you're interested in land sale, guys, and honestly, I've said this before, I love the alluvium aspect of the game. I love the base builders. I love the research. I love all aspect of that. I'm a big proponent of SimCity. I've played StarCraft, a bunch of different other games that are similar to this. So I am all in when it comes to Alluvium Zero. I know the main game is going to be absolutely phenomenal, but I love the mini game here. I think it's going to be very cool to see. Now, some of the other things that we want to look at today is the land. So a couple of the questions that I have with the land, and we're going to look at a couple different things here. Again, in regards to land, there are 7 regions, which we know. So based on the 7 regions, here are the 7 regions and what they are rich in. Now, question is, if I choose, let's say I'm buying a tier 3 in the Crimson Waste, which is rich on silicon, is it going to give me a higher probability or a higher chance of getting silicon out of there or getting multiple silicon mines? We do not know. But the big thing here and the big difference between the tiers is the amount of resource generation or fuel sites that you're going to get within the land, but also if it holds true to the original documentation that we've had from Alluvium is to be seen as well. And what I mean by that is, again, if I'm buying, like, say, Halcyon C, rich in hydrogen, the chances of getting hydrogen might be higher. But when you start looking at the different tiers of land, we've seen spreadsheets like this before where the resource quantity or output is going to be much higher. So if I buy a tier 1 land and let's say it has 3 carbon and I get a tier 4 land and it has 3 carbon mines, theoretically the tier 4 should make it, you know, maybe double, maybe triple the rate that I'm getting. And I hope it is not just because of the buildings that I have or because I have multiple mines or multiple ways to collect this for the resources. I think the resource quantity or the output is going to be much higher when it comes to the higher tier land, which ultimately we know this has changed quite a bit. And one of the biggest changes that I love is this one right here, guys. Tier 1 land now has fuel, which is exactly what it needed, because ultimately, if you put a couple grand into this game, you buy a tier 1 land, you do not have fuel. Transitioning into the main game, you're going to 100% have to purchase your fuel that is in there, which I didn't agree with whatsoever. But when you look in the newer versions, which are actually right here, you have fuel sites, which I love. We're still waiting for Johnny to come out with the final one. I know they're looking for an approval. They're making sure everything is good. They've also changed when we got interested in the land. Tier 5 only had the landmark. They have since added landmarks to tier 3 and tier 4, which again, we don't know with the elemental sites. If you have a tier 1 or a tier 3, is this going to produce more resources on a tier 3? Because again, when you think about it theoretically, just in the base of the elemental sites, so if I bought 3 tier 1s, I would have 9 elemental sites. If I bought 1 tier 3, I would have 9 elemental sites. Doesn't mean the tier 1 land is going to produce the exact identical resources or the amount of resources that a tier 3 is going to produce. That we do not know. We don't know if the higher output is going to be bigger because of the tier, or if it is going to be bigger because of the elemental site. Now, the big thing to remember when it comes to land as well is the fuel. So fuel is what is going to be the ERC20 token, and fuel is what is going to be pushed into the main game to cure shards, to travel. There's going to be a big draw for fuel. And in my opinion, it's going to be kind of a double-edged sword, because if all the players of Illuvium Zero are pushing a lot of fuel into the main game, and the main game just absolutely explodes, the price of fuel could go through the roof, deterring a lot of players from playing, and ultimately allowing a lot of miners or a lot of the Illuvium Zero players to charge astronomical prices for fuel. I'm not sure if it's going to be, they were saying it's going to be an open market, kind of supply and demand with the fuel. So if you are owning a higher tier land, same kind of scenario. If we have one tier 3, we have 6 fuel sites. If I have 3 tier 1s, while the elementals are the same, the elemental sites will remain the same. I'm still going to have double the amount of fuel sites on my tier 3. Personally, I am shooting for a tier 3 or tier 4, depending where the price falls. Once we know what the price is going to be, I'm going to sell, probably either buy or have to sell that SILV on Uniswap to pick up a little bit more, to go ahead and pick up a tier 3 or a tier 4. Or if I'm way overbought over the maximum price, let's say the tier 3 comes in at 15,000 and the tier 4 comes in at 100,000, chances of me getting a tier 4 are out the window, meaning I'm just going to stick to a single tier 3. Another thing to remember when it comes to this, and again, it's a lot of information, guys. We've been kind of dissecting this as we've been going. Johnny has said 30 to 60 minutes per piece of land to farm the resources, research, things of that nature. So remember, guys, if you're buying 1 tier 3 or if you're buying 3 tier 1s, again, the tier 1 land is going to take you 3 times as long to develop, and 3 times as long in-game time is going to be spent. To me, my time is super valuable, guys. I love doing the YouTube videos and everything of that nature, but ultimately I want a higher tier land that I can actually mine on a more regular basis, and not as much time, where if I'm spending 30 to 60 minutes a day, I'm good with the tier 3. If I'm spending 3 to 4 hours a day with a couple of tier 1s, I feel like you're going to get burnt out really quick, because I do not want this to be a full-time job for all of us. All right, guys, so that will do it for today. Again, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We are almost to 1,000 subscribers already, which is absolutely phenomenal. Every month on the first of the month, we are going to do a give back, which is going to be super easy in here, because I am going to give it back in Illuvium or SILV. With the wallets, it'll be really easy. I do have some difficulty on the main channel doing gift cards or doing PayPal or doing different methods for the giveaways that we do. But ultimately, guys, I'm not in this for the money. Most of you know that. I'm not in it for the money. I have a full-time job. Everything else that I do, the investments, I love making the content for you guys and getting to interact with you guys. So get ready, guys. The land sale should be coming later this month. We're going to know at least a week before exactly what is going on. We're going to know all the details of this, and I'm hoping they can take the couple documents that we have from Illuvium Zero, kind of put them all together, and we'll know exactly what we are getting into. So guys, again, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. As always, thank you guys for watching.